So our next speaker is Patsy Wang-Iverson, who is the Vice President for Special Projects at the Gabrielle and Paul Rosenbaum Foundation. Patsy is passionate about learning from TIMS, Jugyo Kenkyu, and Origami. She is the Empress of Origami. And she is the editor of Building Our Understanding of Lesson Study and Origami to the Fifth Power.
Since Jim already showed how folding ignites learning, I'm finished. Thank you very much. Froebel invented kindergarten in 1839 and introduced paper folding as one of the gifts for children. And those who want paper, you have paper. Folding is the first digital technology. And how many of you recognize the picture on the left? And how many of you noticed the folds? And, Bill, who is it? Now, from folds in clothing to folds that enable large objects in space to very small objects, the critical role of folding. And what does this have to do with school? We're going to look at a few items from TIMS, and you will think about whether folding might be helpful. Take a look at this item. Easy item? How well do you think U.S. students did on this item? And which do you think was the most common wrong answer? Look at the U.S. So almost 70% of the kids got it right, but more than 30% couldn't identify the right angle. What if students had been exposed to folding? And then ask to look for this shape. The next item, take a look. We're talking about fractions in Linda's session. How well do you think students did, and what do you think was the most common wrong answer? The good news is we're above the international average. The bad news is only 35% of the students could get it. Now, you all have paper. Think about how folding could have helped to improve student learning. Without thinking about common denominators, but just by folding. And would more than 35% of the students been able to do it? And here's a grade 8 item. You're going to have to read fast. I was going to do this twice, but I decided no, just 15 seconds for you to look at this. Look at the results. International, so we're at the international average, but still 60% of 8th graders could not answer that question. But if they had been exposed to folding starting in the early grades, would they have had more success? %60 could not get that item. And if students had folding experience, would that number have been higher? Now, this Froebel wanted children to learn geometry, but he also wanted to stimulate their creativity. And here are just some examples. And if you look at the right, think of the mathematics from the crease patterns. And here's an example of origami in practice. And there's an NSF grant for origami. And these 3 books represent compilations from the 3 last conferences International Meeting on Origami in Science, Mathematics, and Education. These are the only books that span from art design to the frontiers of science. These are 2 books that can be used to help at the college and high school level to think about ways to integrate. And lastly, and of course we have to end with food, Gauss showed us how folding helps improve our ability to eat pizza. Thank you very much.